Hi, this is Dennis with Second Chance Tackle. Today we're going to do another episode on questions that I've come across in my comment section that I think have a broader applicability than just answering it for the one individual. And I know that from time to time a lot of our viewers do go into the comment section and do actively participate in the conversations, but not everybody sees them. And so I thought, we'd spend this episode going over a couple of questions, tips, techniques, comments, and the like that have been asked over the last few days. And we'll see if they have that information that you're looking for, or maybe they'll give you a couple of interesting thoughts along the way, or maybe a technique that you can use in the art of fishing reel service and repair. Before I get started, I want to encourage you to subscribe to my channel if you like these kinds of videos. And if you like them, you're going to learn a lot about how to repair. Most of the videos are showing you how to repair, but you're also going to learn a little bit about the histories and the like. And I enjoy doing them. I hope you enjoy watching them. And if you do, please subscribe. Okay, the first question actually comes in from Nelson. Nelson was in a pawn shop the other day. He was looking at a reel. This is not the reel he was looking at, but it will be a good demonstration. It said, I was looking at the reel. I believe it was the 5500 C1 Ambassador, and it was relatively inexpensive in the pawn shop, but it's missing the button, the trip lever button. Now this one's a 4600 C3. I think his was a 5000 CI or 5500 CI, but the net effect of it is, is the part available? No, at least it's not available as a single part. When Ambassadors made these reels, most of the time these thumb bar releases are part of the frame, so you need to buy the entire frame as opposed to just the plastic piece that acts as the thumb bar. Well, that's problematic because the frame is expensive, so be careful. That's the word of advice here, or the answer to the question. If you find that you're missing a piece like the thumb bar, stop and think and do before you buy. And what you want to think about is the part available? And if it is available, what's the cost of that? And then add that cost into the bargain price that they're asking for the reel, and make a decision as to whether that's something that has economic value to you. I looked at that CI frame. The CI frame was $55. So if you're paying $10 for the reel at the pawn shop or flea market or wherever it is that you're thinking about purchasing it, add the $55 to that. That makes $65, and that's basically just to fix the thumb bar. And you really don't know what's going on inside the reel because the thumb bar isn't working. So there may be additional damage inside that reel that you would need to cope with. Remember, sometimes that saying, if it's too good to be true, it probably is too good to be true. That $10 reel is probably not going to get you fishing, and the cost of the repairs may put it out of sight. You may do what Tony, Geneva Tackle Geneva Quick Fix is always saying, I'm going down a rabbit hole here. I'm paying more in parts and the like than the reel is worth. Well, you may find yourself in that situation. So be advised, do your research before you make the purchase, otherwise you may regret that purchase. And in this case, I'm just seeing the second part of this. It is a 5600 CI. Okay, next question comes up. It's about Vaseline. I don't have the Vaseline. I have the generic brand here. Equate Petroleum Jelly. It says, I'm restoring my dad's Mitchell 300 from when he was a kid. He's so excited to get it working again. This is from Matthew. And he said, back in the 70s or so, a buddy told him he could lubricate the reel with Vaseline. So they decided to open up the reel, load the entire thing up with the stuff, and it never worked the same since. Well, there's 2 or 3 different questions in there, I think, or observations in there. The first one, the question would be, can you use Vaseline as a lubricant in fishing reels? The answer is yes. Why is that? What does it say right on there? It's a petroleum jelly. So the petroleum jelly is, it's a form of oil, and it can lubricate. And I guess the answer first is yes, you could do that. His friend was correct. What he didn't what he didn't do correct was overloading this with the jelly. Now, an old-timer's trick used to be to just take fishing reel greases and just lather it on inside of a reel, particularly if you were in a saltwater environment. In that saltwater environment, it was a kind of a rudimentary way to do waterproofing before, well, you had all the case seals and the like that contributed to keeping water out, the IPEX ratings and the like. They would overload. Well, what happens is, in the Mitchell 300 situation, I believe, he probably just clogged all of the gears. There's several different gears going on in that. In those gears, the meshing of the teeth could be impacted by that. Also affects the anti-reverse dog. You can stop the anti-reverse dog from functioning properly. So just do what we recommend around here. Do a normal service. Make that service a lightly greased one, and do it on an annual basis. You'll never be in any trouble doing it that way. Hope that answered that question. The next question comes in from Il Dottor Pesca. I believe that's the fish doctor in Italian. This is a fellow who watches our channel from Italy, and he comments frequently, and that's always fun. And he says, I have a Regal X. This is not a Regal X. This is an old pen. This is a pen 105 CS with a broken handle. And that might be the reason why that shows this one. He says, I have a bushing on the right side of the main gear. Can it be removed? Well, let's pull this out. We got a broken gear in this one. But let's pull it out and show you what's going on with what he has. He has a bushing, which is what this reel has, and he can't get it off easily. Actually, this one doesn't come off easy as well. And maybe that was a good selection there. So let's talk. Can it come off? Yes, it can come off. Why is it stuck? Well, this could be a contributing factor to that, and I'm happy that we were able to bring this off. A lot of folks will take a handle, for whatever reason, and tighten it down, torque it down so much. You can see how it comes together here. They'll torque the thing down so much that they either mushroom out the spool shaft or they compress the bushing to the point where it's over tightened on the shaft. Now, all of the reels that I know of that use these setups with case bearings, these can come off. This one's not coming off easily for sure, and it may be that this inner circle got peened, too much, mushroomed out if you will, or this is compressed. And my general recommendation for folks that have this problem is to get an offsetting pair of screwdrivers. Let's grab these two. Place one under the lid on the one side, one on the other side, twist them both. And as you can see, that will lever the bushing up and off. So the answer is they do come off. If you're stuck, I can't even get it back on. If you're stuck, there's a reason why it's stuck. It's usually due to over-tightening of the handle. And when that happens, well, as they say, good luck with that. But you can lever it off to make that work better for you. Okay, two more questions here. The first one is about a Newell reel. It says, are the Newell reels still being made? And the answer is no. Carl Newell, there's a picture of Carl Newell, and I believe it's his wife, Sarah. I think his wife's name was Sarah. Carl Newell, and it tells you a little bit about the history of the Newell reels. This is actually one of the first Newell reels that was made. You can quickly think that you're looking at a Penn Jig Master. You're not. This is a Penn. This is a Newell reel. This is the Newell 300C. It's also known as the Blackie. The Blackies didn't have the stainless steel outer rings on them, and it's one among the first ones that they made. Carl Newell was a plastics engineer, materials engineer out in California. He started making the reels in the 1970s. Initially, he started by making some replacement parts for pens. So, for example, this is a Newell base that works on a Jig Master. and it's just a composite, so it replaces the reel seat on the Jigmaster. And I guess he's used a similar piece right here. You can see that, right? Pretty much the same piece. So this one's pretty much looking like a Jigmaster. Can easily be confused with a Jigmaster. And the handle on it appears to be an older pen handle that wouldn't be original to the reel. The original reels would have a different handle there. So he started making them in the 1970s. Carl Newell passed away in 2000, I believe it was 2009. They continued to supply parts for a while. Then they sold off their parts. I don't remember who acquired them, but from what I understand, the fellow that bought the parts was able to make about 400 more of the Newell reels on a parts basis. After that, they were done. There were no manufacturing of that. And, well, that's where it was left off. Okay, so no, Newell reels are not made any longer. The ones that you have are likely at least 15 or 20 years old if it was the latest production. Some of them, like this, go back to the mid-70s or early 80s. Beautiful standards of the time. Great reels all around. And, well, I hope that answers your question. So those are three of the questions. We're going to do a second segment on this one because I'm running out of time. I like to keep these to about the 10-minute mark. And we'll be back with another episode of this. So keep watching. Again, if you enjoy these, please like them on the video like button. But more importantly, please subscribe and stay watching to see additional episodes. Before I leave, I want to take a moment to thank our first responders, our police, fire, safety, rescue, everybody involved in keeping us out of harm's way. And I want to thank you, the viewers, for watching, contributing to the channel. Continue to ask these questions, and we'll continue to provide the information that makes this an interesting channel beyond just the art of fish reel service and repair. This is Dennis with Second Chance Tackle, wishing everybody a great day.